Hi, it's Jackie Ulmer from StreetSmartWealth.com, and thanks for taking a couple of minutes to spend here with me today. What I want to discuss with you today is how to create a warm market online. Now, as you know, when you start in network marketing, typically you're told by your sponsor to make a list of everyone who you know, make your top 100 names list, and that's a very important first step that I really encourage you to take because you never know who's on that list. But over time, as you work through those people, you're going to run out of warm market to talk to. So what I want to share with you today is the ways that I've created a new warm market through relationships online using the internet. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, there are a couple of key steps that you want to keep in mind first as you start this process. And step number one is you want to have some place to send people. As you get out and about on the internet and meet people, where are you going to take them so that they can go back and find out more about you, more about your business, and decide for themselves whether or not that they might want to be in partnership with you. And then step two is make sure that wherever you take them, most specifically a personal website, and that's a whole nother video that we'll be talking about, but you want to make sure that you have some way to capture their information, and you'll do that through some type of automated autoresponder campaign that's there on that personal site where you direct people. All right, so let's talk a little bit about being out and about on the internet and how to generate warm market. Well, really, the internet operates just like your real life, your real day-to-day life, wherever it is that you live now. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's say you move to a new city and you want to get involved. You want to meet people. You're brand new to the area and you want to meet people. So maybe you join the PTA, maybe you volunteer at the library, maybe you take a cooking class, a hiking class, maybe you're into biking, cycling, whatever it is. Typically when you move, you're going to find a new way to meet and capture relationships, meet people in your everyday offline life. And that's the same thing that you're going to do on the internet, because really the internet works in the same way. It's made up of little communities of people online, people who share common interests. So whether it's PTA, for instance, offline, that would be maybe parenting groups, online parenting forums, websites where people come together to learn and exchange ideas and horror war stories about parenting, etc. Whatever it is. So you're going to find those communities on the internet and you're going to get involved in those. Because remember, the internet is very social, but it's also very business oriented as well. So you want to find ways that you can get out there and meet with and connect with people. You're going to find groups that are out there. And really, you want to make sure that Google becomes your very best friend. You can Google all types of groups and situations and communities that you're looking for. So if you are looking for parenting, you can Google parenting websites, parenting groups, parenting forums, how to deal with toddlers, different things like that. Cooking, cooking groups, cooking forums, cooking classes, different things like that. You can find communities by Googling that information online. Now, like I said, it's very social and business oriented, and you can find groups. And what I want to kind of talk about most specifically, besides that little introduction, is how to use social networking sites such as Facebook and MySpace to find those groups and to find other people. Let's take Facebook, for instance. I have a profile at both sites, but I personally prefer Facebook. I feel like it's a little more grown up than MySpace, a little bit more for my generation, I suppose. So you go to Facebook, and you can do that very easily by going to facebook.com. You create a profile, you click to join, you enter your email address, you select a password, and you click to join. And you're going to want to create a profile there. And your profile is basically your calling card on that site. It's your resume. It's the information all about you, from personal information, your birthday, where you live, interests, books and movies that you like, to your work history, to any business information, personal websites that you may want to list there, etc. And it's a very, very simple process. You're just going to go right through it. It's a simple process. You can set up your profile then, and you're ready to go. I'm going to do another video on specifically how to set up that profile, but the biggest thing is you want to put enough of yourself out there. You want to put some pictures, you want to put your interests, you don't have to put your home address or anything like that, but you want to put enough information out there that people can find out who you are, what you're about, what is it that makes you tick, what is it about you that might be similar to them, and what like interests you might have, etc. Because people are going to seek out and find other friends through the Facebook process, through those things. So you create that profile first, your calling card. Then once you're out there, you want to get involved in communities. You want to find groups. Over to the right on your screen, as you're clicking around, you'll see different applications, and one of them is groups. And you can click to find groups of all different types. If you're in network marketing and MLM specifically, you can type in MLM groups, network marketing groups, again, cooking groups, social networking, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, anything that you can think of, you can put into that search box at the group area of Facebook, and you can find those groups. And you want to join and you want to get involved. Now, remember that getting involved in these communities is not about spamming your business opportunity. I never mention my business. I never mention my product line. I never mention anything about it. I allude to the fact that I have a business, and I allude to different situations and experiences that I've had within that business, but I never blast on there with an advertisement, ask anyone to look at my business or anything like that. What you don't want to do is confuse marketing with advertising, because they're really not the same thing. So if you have any confusion about that, get your dictionary out and look it up, because you want to be very clear on how those two things are alike and how they're different. I like to make my experience out on Facebook the 30-30-30. Really, it should be 33.33%, but 1/3 about business, 1/3 social, and 1/3 personal. Now, the social and personal can interlap a little bit, but they don't necessarily have to. Personal is, posting a little bit about my personal life, things that we may be doing as a family, sharing pictures of my personal life, vacations that we've taken, etc. Social, I see more as I like to cook. Did you notice? Because I brought up cooking forums. So I like to share recipes. I like to share cooking tips, different ideas like that. So social would be more sharing a joke, a recipe, something along those lines that have keywords associated with them where you could attract people in that way as well. And then 1/3 of the time that I spend there, I spend about business. I'll post notes, get involved in business groups, etc., where I can really do a nice mix of putting myself out there as a real authentic person, because just like in the offline world, you don't spend all of your time working, I hope. You have a social side, you have a personal side, and you have your business side, and that's the same essence that you want to capture in your Facebook or social networking experience. Now, another mistake that people make often when they're out there is that they lead with their product or they lead with their company name, and you don't want to do that. Your goal is really to brand yourself. You want to brand yourself as a real person, as a business-oriented person, as someone who they would want to do business with, want to partner with, and want to ultimately have you as their sponsor. So you don't want to brand a company name or a product name that someone may have already heard of and think, oh, well, I'm not interested in that. You can get them, warm them up, and get them interested in it by leading with yourself first. Always take the higher road. Don't bash or trash another company, another person, another opportunity, or anything like that. You always want to make sure that you're being very real, very authentic, and always having integrity and taking the higher road. That's so, so important. You want to make friends while you're out there. There's a search box that you can go to and find friends. You can make friends with friends of yours already. There's a lot of different ways, so make sure that you find the friend feature that's on there and get familiar with it and use it, because you want to make friends. You want to be interested in other people. You want to be interesting, but you definitely want to do that. And then, really the whole process involves being real, being authentic, and creating a culture of fun. Especially when you're working to build your business, you want to create a culture of fun. People want to be around people having fun. You don't want to always be putting out there, that you're having a bad day or that you're sick of work or anything like that. You want to provide value. You want to provide solid content, and you want to really create that culture of fun, because we can have a lot of fun in a home business, and we definitely want to make sure that we're showing that to people as we're out there, because that's what's going to attract people to you. So those are just some quick tips and ideas on specifically using Facebook, but how to create a warm market online. Once you've moved beyond your offline warm market, it's a great idea to begin to connect with people online and develop friends that way. And as you do that and you're consistent with it, knowing that it's a process, it doesn't happen overnight. It could be a 2-month, 2-week, 2-year. It could be a time span before you really get things going. But if you're consistent and you're working with integrity and you're getting yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there as a very well-rounded person, you will begin to see results show up. So get out there, have some fun, and create some warm market online. This is Jackie Ulmer, StreetSmartWealth.com. Glad to be sharing with you, and hope you have an awesome day.